Hey folks, this video is part of a series on GitHub Copilot feature highlights. To find the other videos, go to github-copilot.zebia.ms. Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how GitHub Copilot can help you understand code. That could be your own code base or it could be a new code base, and I really like to use this when I'm new to a code base and I can sort of traverse my way around it and I want to get more understanding of that. I would definitely use chat as much as possible for that. But there are features in GitHub Copilot where you can just select a piece of text and then inline do, for example, a slash command and ask for slash explain. That will just push that back to GitHub Copilot saying, this is the code that is in there, please explain that code to me. And you can get some understanding of, hey, we're doing something here. And it will try to infer from the context that it is in, the file, the selection that you made in the code. So the selected code is a unit test, so to pick that up that we're now in the planes controller test, for example, written in C# and part of the test class, and so on and so on. So this can really help you. And say even the test method is decorated with the fact attribute. If you're not well versed into using this specific type of unit testing, then facts might be something new to you, so you can explain with these kinds of things as well. So this is the basis of you can do that generically while you're typing, for example, and getting certain things in there, but you can also then say, let's view this in the chat, and that will then become part of your chat window and thus your chat history as well. So for example, if I'm saying, I am not that familiar, or even go further and say, explain how the fact attribute works. You can then try to infer from all the information that is in there, saying, hey, this is coming from a certain library, for example. It's a way of working. It's an X-unit test example, for example. This is what makes a test method. So the rest of this class is setting up so that the test method can actually run. So the explain functionality, using that both in chat and the inline chat, of course, can really help you understand what is happening in the code base. And from there, you can do the normal things that you would do with GitHub Copilot, like, do you see any more opportunities to add more unit testing based on, this is the planes controller, for example, write more tests for that. Or you could go so far and say, start a new session, go into the entire workspace, add workspace in VS Code, or add solution in Visual Studio, for example. What kind of application is in this solution? So getting more understanding with slash explain or just asking in chat can really help you with this as well. Saying add a workspace will give VS Code the opportunity to look into your entire code space, your entire workspace. Usually the Git repository or the folder that you have open, but if you have submodules, it can use that as well. Figure out which files are the most important to get information out of that. Use them. You can see it used 4 different references in here. So the solution file, the test file, the CS project file that we're using for the test, and the planes controller. And then start explaining that as well. We have ASP.NET Core controllers. We have some attributes in here, action results, and things like that. And I can continue this conversation like I would do with a normal team buddy that I have. Ask more questions. Hey, can you explain this? What is the logging solution that we're using? Where can I send those logs to? How do I deploy this application? All to get more of an understanding of how does this current application work. Or you can use the chat then and go so far as saying, hey, this is apparently Python 2 code. How can I migrate that to Python 3? Help me understand that as much as possible. So these are some examples of how you can use GitHub Copilot to explain an existing code base to you and explain how certain things are working. Or maybe then you can follow up with, could we potentially make this faster? Can we do this more memory sensitive, for example? Do certain things in there. That is where Copilot Chat can really help. So again, an example of explain code that is in there so that you can work with it and understand how it works in that sense. Visit github-copilot.zebia.ms for the other videos.